Welcome back to another video, and let's just get started. So what we have here is a farm that used to take pistons in order to remove a block and allow water to flow into a collection system. But now you can just use trapdoors in 1.13, which is why it is much less expensive. Now you can use any type of trapdoors, but the ones that will garner the most reliability is the iron trapdoor, because you can't accidentally right click it and allow the water to flow through, or allow these that serve as water source blocks to open. And the reason why you don't want these to open is because water will actually flow to this, since it counts as an open block where it can flow to. But yeah, and it's quite simple. You just need to get some redstone, and if you really want to, you can just get all this iron, make it iron, make it basically an iron mess. But you could just use wooden trapdoors. And yeah, so there are three types that you can build. You can build this type, right? You need a 7-block area from the last I would say, yeah, you have to have at most 7 blocks on the last area for collection. 6 blocks, actually no, this is 7, this is 8, because water flows 8 blocks, right? This is 8, this is 7, and this has to be 6, because you have to have the water to flow as well. And yeah, you can build this as much as you want. You just have to remember the last thing is at most 8, in between is at most 7, and at the end at most 6, because you need the water to flow over and down as well. Otherwise this row would also be farmland if you were to build more. And the wiring is simple as well. You just put a lever here and run the redstone wire up 2 blocks. Well, I want to call them blocks, but these are blocks. So 2 sections, and then put a repeater there, and then you can go up every 2 sections, because this is 7 and this is 8, which is perfectly 15. So because a redstone wire travels can deliver power up to 15 when it's fully powered at one end. And then you can just put a repeater here, because of course repeaters can't go across corners, and since this is only 8, the power delivers all the way through, and it stays simple. Now the reason why it's powered on in the first place, because if the trapdoors are not powered, it would be in this position, laying flat on the ground. So that's why you unpower like that first. Now this is a similar design, but every row gets 7. I think this is less cost effective. Actually no, yeah, every row gets 7, and you have to refill water for everything. But it's kind of more space efficient. You could do the same design here. You could lift this up multiple blocks, but you'd also have to make the redstone go up multiple blocks, and it looks nicer with this. But the redstone is also simple for this. You just have to put a redstone torch up there, a redstone line, and on the second block put a repeater, and just move it all the way across, and then into a block with a redstone torch above it, and then another redstone torch, and then another block above that, and then a redstone torch above that, and the same applies to here. And now you could repeat it by putting more redstone torches on top of each other, and the next layer will go over here. Yeah, it's pretty simple. And there's room for lighting, and lighting goes on the side where there's no redstone, right, and above the grass, so that they're able to get enough light level to place down any crop, actually. Because they changed that in 1.13, where you can't placed on a crop in darkness anymore for just a split second. And this is one that goes above the top. Now these, I have glass panes above them, so no items fly a lot more in 1.13 water. So as the water flows down, because items tend to float up, they also have that velocity, and they might miss the actual hopper. So this is why we have glass panes in front of them. Now, if you don't have that much room, or don't feel like building that much room, horizontally, I mean, you can build it vertically, which is another simple design, right? So you go up there, and it has the same function, right? So it goes all the way there, unpowers this torch, powers up this torch, and you can just stack this layer by layer, just alternating the flow. So right now you can just do this. No. that was the wrong place. So we do this, and the redstone would continue on here, and all you would need actually is this first redstone wire that goes down here, and then you could just alternate above here, and you can have light sources on each side after the first row, and that would make things a lot more easier. Okay, and these are also 7 because you need that 1 block for water. So in total, this could be one of the more efficient designs, because this is at the bottom is 8, 7, but there's also 6 up here, which kind of balances it out a little bit. So it actually would be almost like you just have a 6 at the end, right? And plus you would probably only build 4 modules of this for every single type, except for the last one, because you might want potatoes or something more useful at the end. And you would build a whole lot here, and this is the footprint of the whole design. It is 10 blocks by 11 blocks, and in height it is I forget to count this as well. So this would be raised up by a little. It would be about 3 blocks high, well, 4 blocks high if you were to count, since it would actually, no, it would be 3 blocks high. So every module is 3 blocks high, and it would keep going up like this, 3 to 4 blocks high. I'm sorry, I didn't really do much about it, but here's how the collection system works. It's pretty simple. You can just have a whole line of hoppers, and that could be the only iron you use. So we got that one. We go like that, and in order to get back in, I would recommend just going in when the system's done collecting, and then you get the seeds from here, and then you just fill this layer, and then fill this layer, and then fill this layer, and then jump out, because you don't want to trample the grass accidentally. And as you can see, like the food the items did get dropped off on the side, so you might want to have a bigger wall on one side, or some glass panes above this side in order to prevent that, but I think it's quite negligible. Then we can see how these two work. As you can see, basically does that, and this one actually flew out, so you might actually want a too high wall of glass panes like this. I was testing this in my server world, and I thought it was a good design, but apparently not. So this is basically the alternative to the piston method, where you hit water behind a piston. But now that you can control water with just redstone and a trapdoor, it has become real simple. Now, in order to replant this, I would recommend putting a ladder on one side. I mean, you can even tear out this pillar and put a ladder on one side, right? Because the water won't actually flow to this area, since this is the 2 high and this is the 1 high, so it can't spread anymore. So yeah, you can do that. You can do that, and you can put a ladder up here, and just when you let's get some ladders. Let's work this out a little bit. So get some ladders. So and then you just rest up here, and then just start planning again. And for this you might actually have to get a little bit creative on how to get up here. There could be like since I built this so compact, it's kind of hard to do any of this, but I think this design would be one of the worst designs. I would recommend just building this one or this one, but I would just like to show you that you can just stack it up on top of each other, and just remember that don't let the farmland be like this over top of the redstone, because that will just go horribly wrong. Well, that's going to be it for this tutorial. Well, not really a tutorial, just a showcase, but I'll have to name it showcase on YouTube, but yeah. So this one, you can just go right in, plant from the lowest to top, and then from this one you can just get a ladder on the side and just remove one block from the side without the redstone, and then just climb up all the way. So yeah, that's gonna be it. Hope to see you in another video, but thanks for watching, and have a good day.